Hey guys, today I'm going to be teaching you about the SS 2x2 method, which is short for stern sun. Basically what you do in the SS method is you force an OLL skip. So say if I had, like this case, I have 3/4 of a layer done. If I did it from right here, I still have to do OLL. But if I did it from right here, I skip OLL and I could go straight into PBL or PLL. Now, I don't know the exact number of cases there are for this, but I know that they aren't all worth it. I'm just going to be covering the easy cases and whatnot. But yeah, this is something very helpful to help you advance in 2x2 and give you some easy cases. So let's get right into it. The first set of algs I'm going to be going over are from TCLL. TCLL is where you have 3/4 of your layer, and then one of the bottom corners is twisted. So that's what these first few cases will be. So for this one, I recognize that these headlights are right here, and there's one corner facing to the right. That's just how I recognize it. You only have to look at these three corners, and then this one's obviously pointing up, and then you just do this. Okay, the next one, corner is down here again, and this time I have the headlights on my right and this one facing here, and then this corner up here. If this corner was twisted, it would look like an H case, and that's how I recognize this one. And then you just do double sledgehammer. The next one, you have two corners oriented, then one that's facing the back and one facing to the right, and that's really how I recognize it. If this corner was twisted, it would look like a T case. So yeah, and then I do this. Next one, I recognize that I have headlights in front, and then in the back on the right side there's one facing the back, and then this is facing the left. If this corner was twisted, it would look like a pie case, so that's how I recognize this one. Then I do. For this next one, I recognize it that these two corners facing left and right, and then this one is facing the back. I don't, it just kind of, this is kind of random, but it makes me think of a triangle. I don't really know why, but it does. So these two face there, and then this over here. Then I rotate and do this. This next one, I recognize that I have two corners oriented up top, and then these two face opposite directions. And then I do this. Okay, now this one is debatable if it's actually worth it to learn, but I figured I'd put it in here anyways. So this one's really easy to recognize. 3/4 of the top is oriented, and then this one here. Those were the TCLL cases, and now I'm just going to show you random other SS tricks that I know from corners in different positions. So now here's two that look very similar, but they are not the same case. So at first glance they look the same, but this one, if you do RUR prime, it solves it. If you do that on this one, it does not. Now the difference is, and how I recognize them is, obviously these two corners are oriented, but then it's this one. If the corner for the top layer corner is right here, then RUR prime will solve it. If it's not here, then it's on the bottom, and that means you have to do a different case. So this one was RUR prime, simple enough. The next one, you do U2, and that's how you do that one. Next one is just sledgehammer, but once again you can get it confused with another case. How I recognize this one is these two corners are going up and down, and then this corner is on the right, and this one is the sledgehammer one. And then this one, instead of these two going up and down, they're going left and right, and the yellow is on the bottom. I don't actually know the alg for this. I think this is probably one of the cases that isn't worth it, but I just wanted to point out the differences between the two because they are very similar. I figure this one is obvious to most people, but I'm going to put it in here anyways, just in case. This one, you have one corner up top, and then headlights right here. And it's really easy. I think most people probably know it. It's just U, and then this makes a pair right here, and then RU to R prime. I've seen people who have this case and then they insert it like that, but you should just... Here's another simple one. This one is just R, U prime, R prime, but people oftentimes mix it up with this one. How I recognize this one is obviously there's two oriented corners up top, and then there's a top layer piece facing me right here, whereas this one there isn't. It's facing to the right this time. So yeah, you really just only need to look at these corners. If it's the top layer corner is in front of you, you can just do R, U prime, R prime, and then for this one, you just do this. This one is quite easy to recognize. All you have to do is you have two or top layer corners up here, and then you have one of your bottom layer corners facing up. And if it's held right here, you'll have two bars. So that's really easy to recognize. And then you just do this. This one is really easy to recognize. You have 3/4 of your face up top. And then basically these two corners just need to switch, and all you have to do is this. For this one, all you have to do is R, U2, R prime, U prime, and then insert. And how I recognize it is these two corners face up and down, and then the yellow corner is in front of me. The other one that is similar to it that people mix it up with is this one. How I would recognize it is these two corners go left and to the back, and then yellow's on bottom. These ones are pretty easy to distinguish. I don't have an AUG for this one. This is one of the ones that I think you probably don't need an AUG for. So, okay, for this case, how I recognize it is if it's held like this. If you did an F prime, you would have a yellow face. So if the corner is right here, you would have yellow face like that. And then you rotate and do this. Okay, for this case is very similar to the last case we had. If you remember, if you did like an F prime, all the yellow would match on top, but that isn't the case this time. So really, you could kind of confuse them. I guess I'm just kind of to the point where I just know how to recognize them, and I don't have a great way of explaining this one. But I just recognize two yellow corners oriented up top and then two on the side here. So yeah, and then I hold it here and I do. Now it's also important to understand that there are mirrors of all of these cases. So for when I was covering the TCLL cases, for this one you just did that. But now what do you do if the corner is facing to your right instead of in front of you? Well, this is where knowing the mirrors comes in handy. You could do this from two different ways. You could do it lefty, like that, or you could do it from the back. But it is important to be able to do these AUGs, or it's important to be able to do the mirrors. You don't need to be able to mirror all of them, because I don't even mirror all of them, because some of them just aren't worth it. But it is important to understand you should know some of the mirrors for these cases. Okay, and that's all I've got. I hope this helps you guys understand the SS method. This method isn't a method to be used on its own, obviously. It's just adding to the 2x2 knowledge that you already have. Because with 2x2, you really just want to know how to use every method. And then whenever there's an easy case for that method, you just go for it. This method is also very nice if you know you're going to get an LL skip. So that can be really nice. So yeah, I hope this helps you guys understand the SS method, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you later.